Alright, so I'm currently trying to platinum every single type of EA game that there is out there, and if I can't do it before the channel hits 1 million subscribers, then my punishment is I have to platinum Fortnite, one of the longest, hardest, and most grindy games of all time. So make sure to drop a like and subscribe. Anyways, today I got the platinum trophy on College Football 26. Yup, this is the new college football game that just released along with EA Sports' absolutely diabolical yearly sport game cycle. One day we gotta stop buying these things, but after over 20 years, I don't think that day is coming. However, the premise of today's video is a bit unusual because with EA Play that I definitely have, considering we're in the middle of the EA Games Challenge, and I'm not trying to be robbed even more than I already am. You get given trials for most of their new games, which is a free 10-hour period to play the game. And one of my fans in Discord messaged me saying I should try to platinum College Football 26 within the time period, considering the platinum and trophy list is pretty much identical to College Football 25, which I did just a month or so ago, and it wasn't that long of a grind. Now, after I did see this, it kind of stuck in my brain, so I said, F it, let's do that. I downloaded the EA trial for College Football 26, and I jumped right in because we only have 10 hours to get this game completed. Oh my god! There also isn't really any stages to the guide because the game just came out and no trophy guides were published upon my making of the video. So I just tried to lump the single player trophies together and then the online together. But the very first trophy I went after was called Cool School from playing a game with any custom school from the download center. And I remember this trophy because it was from College Football 25 as well, and it was actually bugged in that one, so I was a little bit worried with that. But while I was playing my first game in Play Now, I was also going after Go the Distance and not catching them, which just required two 90-ish plus plays with rushing and passing. Now I began to attempt these my best way against the AI, which wasn't that successful at first because the AI in this game isn't good. However, they aren't bad. And I am not good, nor am I bad at this game, so honestly, it was a pretty even match. I also couldn't get my second controller to work right now, so yeah, that was unfortunate. But I ended up finally nailing a dime on a receiver down the middle, and it was well over a 95-yard pass and touchdown. However, upon crossing the goal line, the trophy did not pop. Nothing at all. And this brings me to my unfortunate conclusion of the EA trial games. Trophies don't work in them. Yeah, they don't work at all. No clue why. And they do show up in the game when you check them, but they just don't pop. So I don't know if this is a College Football 26 problem or just how that works in general. But I do still blame you, person on Discord, for this. So I unfortunately had to go shell out a ton of clams to buy this game at a completely unreasonable price. And then I sort of did what I was trying to before, but with trophies on now, I suppose. And I finally managed to get my second controller to function, thankfully. So upon starting a new match with the download school, I had the trophy Cool School actually pop when entering the game, which is funny. And I'm not gonna lie, even with using two controllers, it did still make it a bit challenging because if you aren't aware about the mechanics in college football, your players will move like AI until you start using them yourself, and your own character even will move until you take control. So it really was like I was still just playing against the AI team from before, but I did manage to set up the best play formations with the defense being in a very bad one, and then just throwing a quick pass over them all, ran it back all the way, and the trophy from the 95-yard pass finally popped, thankfully. The 90-yard rushing touchdown, however, was a bit more challenging because obviously that's quite the feat for just a running back to get. The way I achieved the trophy, however, was using that same method of putting the defense in a bad formation, and I actually chose to do a pitch to the outside because I didn't trust the running back to get up the middle 90 plus yards. And even looking back at this footage, I still can't believe I didn't get tackled because the amount of defenders gurgling my cum as I ran down the field was disgusting. But hey, I got the touchdown and the trophy popped without glitching, thankfully. I then kept on grinding out rushing yards and passing yards with my current team for the trophy called Player of the Game, from getting 200 plus rushing and passing yards with one player. Now I'm gonna say this right now for all you who are going for this platinum or just wondering about the trophy. Yup, it's glitched. Pretty badly actually, which is hilarious considering you can track and see the exact amount of rushing and passing yards every player has in the game. So in reality, this should be the one trophy that doesn't glitch because, I mean, it's right in front of your face. And at one point, I ended up with about 400 yards in both rushing and passing and no trophy pop, so that's great. Don't we just love a sports game with buggy trophies, am I right? That seems to just be how these games are nowadays, and I am losing my shit over it. But I left that match pretty quickly after realizing that we were cooked, and I began to grind after a trophy called Top Tradition. This is that same trophy in College Football 25 from forcing a turnover with any team that has a unique turnover tradition, and this just means a team that does a celebration after getting a turnover. Now I know a lot of teams have this, and I don't know exactly how many, but I chose to use Alabama against Oklahoma, and that might sound random, but I googled it and some dude said to use these, so I followed him blindly without question. Yes, I am a sheep. Anyways, to get this trophy, it's best to use two controllers clearly, but you pretty much just want to keep throwing short passes with the second controller and trying your best to snag one as it's coming with the main account's controller. It took me numerous tries to get this, and I'm not sure how it was so damn hard to get an interception, but it was for me, goddammit. However, once you do finally get one, the trophy pops immediately, so that's a major W. And if it for some reason doesn't pop when you get one, then that either means it's glitched for you or you have the wrong team. And I would then actually just play out that game for a full match of Play Now, which I still have yet to do, and that's kind of funny if you think about it. And once you do complete a match of Play Now, you get the trophy called Play Now, which is from completing a match of Play Now. Whoever wrote these trophies for EA Sports College Football 26 is either an unpaid intern or an AI, and I'm not even joking, they are robotic. Oh yeah, I also tried that 200 passing and rushing trophy again, putting up well over 400 yards for each of them, and my team had over 88 points going into the fourth quarter with no trophy popping, so yeah, GG I suppose. But that was every single trophy inside of the single player or play now mode, you know, besides that 200 plus passing and rushing trophy obviously, because it's currently glitched. So I decided to then try and get some more trophies to maybe fix that, which can occasionally happen. For some reason in these games, if you get a trophy, it kind of resets everything. And the first of these I chose to go after was called Challenge Champ, from completing 10 challenges in the Ultimate Team. Again, this is the same trophy from the previous year's game, but they put the tutorial challenges a bit further down the list this year, so I accidentally played some real challenges, and I only got like 5 deep before the actions I was required to do became an actual challenge for me. So I got frustrated, backed out, and then I went to search for easier challenges, and I found the basic ones that are pretty much just like call plays, for example. Real hard right there for the Helen Killers of the world. And after doing 10 total, like you would expect, the trophy popped. And I actually decided for some unknown reason real fast to go attempt the online trophies of the game, which are the hardest out of the list by far, from playing the Road to the College Football Playoff mode. This is the online head-to-head mode where you play as an assortment of teams that you can choose against the other people, with the simple goal of winning to advance up the rankings. There is 3 trophies total from this one mode. First, called Time to Complete, from finishing a match and starting your road to the CFP. Then you need to defeat an opponent with a higher tier team for Upset City. And finally, the trophy called Next Level, from advancing to Freshman and Road to the College Football Playoff, which just requires 4 wins out of 12 games. Now, I only played one game and I was already getting my ass kicked by some dude, which led me to throwing an interception and then rage quitting and deleting College Football 26, the online experience, if you will. But I did this so I could reinstall it to see if that would fix the trophies, because in other sport games I have played, sometimes reinstalling the game is all it takes for the trophies to work, no matter how glitched they may seem. And after I sat there for a few minutes, shout out to my subpar internet, I loaded it back up and the trophy from beginning my road to the CFP actually popped. Which it was supposed to do this because I did do a single match of it despite me leaving it, which still counts as I completed it, just with an L to my name. So that whole glitch trophy theory will have to wait for later, unfortunately. Anyways, I then just kept on playing this mode, pretty much getting railed hardcore style in every single match. I'm not sure if it was because the game is new and better players are online, or if I just suck. Probably a mixture of the two, if we are being honest. Eventually I stopped playing it, however, without achieving anything besides losses, and I went for another repeat trophy from last year called Instant Classic. This is simply from scoring a touchdown on the last play of the game to win in a rivalry game. Now, I went with Notre Dame, which is my favorite college team if you don't know, and I chose to have them play against Navy, which is a well-known rivalry school, and I'm honestly not sure why, but hey, it is what it is, I guess. Anyways, getting the trophy is actually super easy. Just drain time to almost 0, make sure you're on the goal line obviously, and then I found a play that worked that just had me throwing a quick out route pass to my tight end as he basically crossed the goal line. And the trophy actually pops at the exact same time, so here it is. Now, due to me getting my ass kicked in online play, I was a little bit hurt. I suck at sports games, as we all know, which is not good for my Fortnite challenge. But I went back to play now, and I went for that faded glitch trophy from the 200-yard BS. And I just kept on getting yards from both rushing and passing. And it still, even with multiple new trophies popped, and a complete reinstall of the game was glitched. However, it eventually did pop after much higher than 200 of both. So if you do go for this trophy, just be prepared to suffer with no trophy popping until it ultimately does. And if that isn't trophy hunting in a nutshell, I don't know what else is. But back to the online trophies, however, I did finally go against some kid named Gravely Motion 3, one of the most generated names I've ever heard. And I guess his dad started beating him because the kid left our match and rode to the CFP almost instantly, and I won. And I was also a low tier team and he was higher than me, so the trophy called Upset City popped into my lap. But I decided to call it a day for now with the luck in my online play, and I went after the trophies inside of the Road to Glory mode. There's a couple here as well. First being called Off to School, from selecting your college to go to. And this year's edition of college football has you actually start off in high school and you have to put up some good numbers to get the projected #1 pick if you want to also go for the Heisman and National Championship trophies, which are the other trophies in this mode. Now, in high school it's pretty easy to do this, but you just want to be positive to questions asked to you from the media, colleges, and to your coaches and teammates. In the actual gameplay, however, you also do want to make sure you complete every single challenge given to you in the playset that the game has for us. Most of them are super simple. The only real hard challenge is throwing an over 50-yard pass. I also was unaware that I could change my camera view while playing at first, so that made getting that challenge done way harder than it should have been, but it's fine, don't worry about it. I know how to play this game, okay? Eventually, I did make it to my hat selection. I tried to pick teams that have me as QB1, but I sort of f***ed it up, I'm gonna be honest. However, I chose Notre Dame like you would expect. I am a Glazer, I can't lie. And here's that trophy popping with us beginning the college career. Now, long story short, I was also unaware that you had to actually do practice in this game, because in the previous one, you didn't. But in this version, if you don't practice and you just sim it, you will lose points and coach trust, dropping you in the depth chart. So at one point I sat at QB QB3 before realizing and building myself back up to QB1. Now this basically killed my Heisman chances, however I did become starter just in time to save Notre Dame from a common bowl game, and we got into the playoffs. And we scraped by on every round until the championship, which was against Oregon. And even with me playing, I lost multiple times. Skill issue, yes, I know. Also, fun fact, if you do lose and you just close out your game and restart it, it'll pretty much reset the game so you can just play it again. However, I finally did manage to clinch the win using this, and it legitimately took me an hour of retries to do this, by the way. I kind of felt like that Doctor Strange meme with the 1 out of a trillion outcomes being us winning, which sums up Notre Dame football in reality quite well also. But here's that national championship trophy popping. I then went to the Dynasty mode to sim out some trophies, mostly going for the one called playoffs from earning a spot in the college football playoff, which is tied solely to the Dynasty mode for some reason. Kind of odd in my opinion. But if you just choose a good team that is usually up there and then sim to the end, you should get in the playoffs and the trophy. Now I didn't on my first attempt, however I did have a player win the fucking Heisman, which got me that trophy and saved a ton of grinding actually, which is insanely lucky. And then on a few tries later I did make the playoffs and I got that trophy also. So I now only have one more trophy remaining, and it's to win 4 matches inside of the Road to College Football playoffs. Now this is hard, but I did manage to do it by just playing as a tier 1 team and matching against only tier 5 teams. So not only do I have a high rated team, I also simply just have better players than them, which helped me a lot in winning matches. Once I did win 4, however, I did just go and lose the rest to speed up the process because you don't get ranked up to freshman until the season of games concludes. But once it does, the trophy popped along with the Platinum Trophy on College Football 26. So that was the College Football 26 Platinum Trophy experience. Overall, I didn't really enjoy my time. The game is an improvement on the previous year, but it's still just more EA sports game slop. I personally don't love or enjoy sports games, which is why I haven't ever really played them in my life outside of more recently. And that's kind of unfortunate considering I actually do love sports, like watching them. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Notre Dame is winning the CFP this year, mark my words.
Subscribe to Its Illusion. I'm here, Midnight UK, joking it to Anthem. Yeah.